As you can see, I mean business. The table is out, the laptop is out, I got some drawings. We mean business. We're gonna do some big things today. Hello everyone, welcome back to Spaceforedit. If you're new here, my name's Cynthia. Nice to meet you, nice to have you here. As you can already tell by the title of this video, today we will be looking at some space planning tips and tricks, things that I have learned from practicing within the industry. So I hope this will be useful and you can take some things away and apply to your own practice. I will be turning these videos into a little mini video series because me being me, the perfectionist that I am, I want to do things properly. So we will look at 3 types of commercial spaces, and then we will have an episode on residential design, because I know there's a lot of residential lovers / designers out there who are watching my content. So not to worry, all of the areas will be covered. So to make this whole process a bit easier, I have made a checklist which consists of 4 sections. Section 1 asks you the question, what type of space it is. Really simple and basic question, but you have to start with something. So figure out what the place is about, what the vibe is, what kind of atmosphere, what is it used for, and then you can move on to section number 2, which is all about the people who will be using the space. Section number 3 is all about the company, all about the client. See how I put people before the company? You know it. So you need to figure out what the brand is about, what brand guidelines you can take and apply within the interior space. And then there's obviously the actual client's brief. What are the main outtakes from the client's brief, from the first meeting? Are there any references that you can study to sort of draw inspiration from, or maybe grab some elements and apply to your own designs? Right, so that's the plan, that's the checklist that we need to make sure we go through. Now it's time to actually put the pen or the pencil to the paper and do some space planning. So the first type of project I wanted to cover was a co-working space, a sort of office kind of environment, but a little bit more relaxed kind of atmosphere because you get different kinds of people using these spaces. And it's obviously quite a popular trend at the moment, since there are so many startup companies rising up in the need for office spaces, as well as freelancers and self-employed people just looking for that opportunity to get away from their home environment, from their home office, and be within other like-minded people. I have tried co-working spaces myself, so I sort of know what works, what doesn't work, what could be improved. So this is kind of the ideal project, as all of the examples will be. But I think it's a great opportunity for us to really go deep into detail and figure out what the ideal setup for each scenario should be. So let's not waste any more time and get to it. Right, move here. Let's have a look. Ooh, Mr. Buddha. Okay, that should do. So the first things I like to look at is sort of a zoom out and see what we are dealing with. So we can see that the space shape is sort of a U shape. We need to figure out, where do people come in from? We've got 2 fire escapes on this end. So I'll mark that as fire, and over there as fire escape as well. So we need to ensure that these 2 exits will be always accessible. But over here, this is where our main entrance is. So people are coming up either on the lift or on the stairs. Through the doors, there's a corridor that's leading to another fire exit, and through these doors we then enter to the rest of the space that we are working with. So the next thing we need to look at this scenario is, obviously we need some quiet spaces. So over around here and around here will definitely be the most quiet ones. So we might want to save these 2 areas for desk space. So I'll just quickly sketch in that these could be desk areas. Next to them, which would be quite practical if people are having clients over, this area could be good for meeting rooms. And as well as over here, we could put some open plan meeting areas as well, with some soft seating, maybe some room dividers, some greenery pots and shelving and things like that. So it's more like an open space, but it's still good for sort of relaxed meetings. Okay, so we kind of have these areas sorted. Now, what to do with the middle? As you can see, when you come in, the person is immediately faced with decisions of where to go. So we need to ensure that reception area is somewhere around here, so in case people feel lost, then we can kind of guide them through the space. Next thing from the brief that we remember is we need a kitchen area, we need a lounge space, and we need dining space. So all of these three areas can work together as collaborative socializing areas. Now over here, if you see, we've got nice glazing going all around. There's a courtyard in the middle. Now this is level 2. We got some nice views over the courtyard below. There's some seating, some nice garden lighting, and a nice atmosphere. So we need to ensure that we don't really block all of this nice daylight coming in. So the first thing that comes to my mind, I would say to put a nice sort of a mixed furniture lounge area over here. So when people come in, they can sort of check in with the reception, they can sit within the lounge space and kind of take in what else is going around them, so they don't feel like they have to go somewhere straight away. They can sort of just chill out over here. Then I'm thinking maybe kitchen unit over here. We'll see later on what we can fit in there. We obviously need some worktops, we need some storage, we need microwaves and just things like that. And then naturally this area over here kind of turns into this social dining area. Okay, so when you kind of looked at this general layout, you got the idea of what you want. You've double checked it with the brief and ensure that you kind of covered all of the main areas. Then you can move on to CAD and make sure that everything fits and you have enough bums on the seats, as well as plenty areas to socialize. It is DDA friendly. All of these things you can check in CAD because obviously it's more precise. You've got all the dims and everything on there. So what do you think of the end result? Now in real life, all of this, including CAD work, would probably be maybe one day's work. Obviously, all of this kind of a really structural thinking, talking through it, usually happens here. And as you do more and more projects, it kind of becomes a bit more easy and a bit quicker to do. So you kind of just adapt as you go. But I remember when I was in university, a few of our lecturers actually had an interior practice themselves. I think it was a final year project. It was just taking weeks and weeks to deliver this, which is basically in real life takes you one day. And I remember them saying that they would maybe spend 4 to 5 hours on what we've been doing for the whole month, which is the message that I really wanted to get across. And people who are maybe studying at the moment or kind of just learning interior design is to really realize the time pressure and the time limit that you have when it gets to real life and real projects. That is it for now for today. We have looked at an office space, so let me know down in the comment section what your thoughts, what you would have done differently. Also, actually, let me know in the comments what you think about co-working spaces. Have you tried them? What are your initial thoughts and what would you do differently? Because I feel like an interior designers, we always go everywhere and think, how could I improve this? Or what would I have done differently? Let me know your thoughts below on everything. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified, and head over to the Instagram for more updates on Spaceforedit's adventures. So I'll see you next time when we will be looking at space planning for hotel, a lounge / reception area. But until then, I will have to say bye.